Congressman Anthony Brindisi standing by right now. Congressman, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
This is happening earlier and earlier. I believe that that probably in the next 10 years, we will see the first race where the opponent actually declares his candidacy before the congressman is elected. You see? I think like in October, before Election Day, he'll declare his candidacy. It's getting earlier. We thought you were early in June a couple of years back, but now you've got an opponent, and you've only been in office for a couple of weeks.
You know, you can also, I don't mean to interrupt you quickly, but you can almost do it like a boxing match. At the end of the fight, they interview the winner, and they say, all right, well, who are you going to fight next? You could pick your own opponent on election night when you win. That's what you'll do.
I like it. We did have your now new opponent on from yesterday, George Phillips. Your assessment, your take, and it is early, though, I got to say.
It is early, and look, there's going to be plenty of time to talk about politics. There's going to be a lot of time for campaigning, but my focus right now is just getting work done. We're heading all around the district this week. I'm in the district this week, so we were in Cortland yesterday, Binghamton. We're going to be in Cortland again today doing our Agriculture Advisory Committee and our Veterans Advisory Committee, two of the committees that I set up as part of the House committees that I'm on. So, look, there'll be plenty of time to talk about politics, and I'm sure people are a little sick of that from the last election. So my focus right now is just getting the work done for the people in the district.
One thing one would say is if, I can't help but bring it up. The word is that the one opponent you're going to have in another year is Claudia Tenney. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are saying that she is planning to run to be reelected to the seat that you currently hold. I don't think you can count on this candidate being somebody who's going to get into the mud and really attack Claudia Tenney. I don't think he's remembering how bad it can get, because when she attacks, she really does attack. But he seems to be. How did you call? I'm going to ask you. You went out on a limb yesterday.
Listen, by all accounts, and I've met George, and he's been in here before. I think he's a really nice guy. Yeah. I did have two criticisms yesterday, and one we didn't even get to. One is nothing he says really excites me. You know, that's number one. But number two, I don't understand why he's running now. There's nothing to contradict anything that you've done so far. What controversial stances have you taken? I don't understand. I don't think he's I think he's a super nice guy. I said he's got no pop. That's right.
How do you respond to that, Anthony?
Well, look, I think it's up to the voters to really decide if they like the job I'm doing or not. As I've said right along, ever since I got elected, this is not my congressional seat. It belongs to the people, and I'm going to try and serve in this congressional seat as long as the people want me. And I truly believe that I was elected to represent the folks in this district, and I should go down to Washington and vote how I believe the people in this district want me to vote. Am I going to always do everything that make everyone happy? Absolutely not. Look, I get attacks from the left, I get attacks from the right, but I think that most of the people are somewhere in the center in this district, and that's how I'm trying to vote down in Washington. The second part of the job, which I think is the most important part of the job, is the work that you do back home when constituents call your office with an issue. That we have to be responsive. We have to make sure that I'm available and accessible, and people see me in the community. And that's what I'm doing all this week during my time back in the district, is holding town hall meetings. We're going to have one on Saturday in Cazenovia to fulfill our town hall in Madison County. We're doing our advisory committees today. I'm doing the Chamber of Commerce down in Cortland County on Thursday. So there's lots of events that I'm doing to make sure that I'm out there and people get to talk to their member of Congress.
I did talk to someone from the Binghamton area yesterday who said, I have to tell you that, and by the way, you owe a lot to the people of the Binghamton area. They overwhelmingly voted in favor of you on Election Day. But this person was somewhat bothered by George Phillips, saying that he is a kind of a habitual candidate, that he continues to run for this position and others over and over again, kind of like Dave Gordon, who isn't so mean and devious and horrible and despicable and grotesque and disgusting. Andrew, grab my thesaurus, could you please?
I think you've hit them all, Bill.
I've run out of words. Would you like to comment on that?
Well, look, we're no stranger to habitual candidates here in Oneida County and the city of Utica. We see the same names every year running for various positions, county positions, state positions, Congress, and I guess it's not Oneida County is not the only place in the world that has its habitual candidates.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Sounds like the congressman needed a thesaurus for all the positions that somebody could have possibly ran for.
All right, so I want to
city council, all of them.
As for where we are right now, I do want to ask you on with what happened in New Zealand. Do you think there is a white supremacy problem? And I got to tell you, to have, and again, I'm not saying the president is a racist. I'm not saying that, but the fact that you have to have your people out on the Sunday morning talk shows declaring the fact once again that the president is not a white supremacist is a bit unsettling. And do you feel that there's a problem here in the country? And do you feel that the president, do you feel he went far enough or didn't go far enough when denouncing white supremacy?
No, I wish he would go a little further. You're seeing elements of white supremacy popping up all over the globe. You know, what bothers me is that there's a lot of hate in this world right now. There's white supremacy, there's anti-Semitism, there's Islamophobia, and what we should be able to do as normal people is be able to call out any form of hate when we see it, whether it's hate against Muslims, whether it's hate against Jews, whether it's hate against Christians, whether it's white supremacy. We really should not differentiate and really go after all these forms of hate, which are on the uptick everywhere.
Yeah.
So when Muslims are killed praying, it's just as bad as when Christians are killed praying or Jews, and we should be able to call that out no matter where it happens or who does it. Hate is hate, and let's just call it for what it is.
I'll answer Rob. He says, "How far left is the Democratic Party going? Come on, be fair, Rob." The Democrats, Nancy Pelosi was just not named in a mass murderer's manifesto. It's topical. That's why I'm talking about it right now, because this deviant, this white supremacist, included the president in his manifesto. That's why it's being talked about. And, you know, a lot of people don't feel, including Republicans, don't feel the president went far enough. So, Rob, I am being fair. Look at yourself in the mirror, stop being unfair, and realize the fairest person of all is me sitting right here speaking right now. Okay, Anthony, I want to ask you, I want to switch gears a little bit and take you back to when you were in the Assembly. Since 2003, there has been a bill that has been introduced in the Assembly, Democratic-controlled Assembly, that I know you voted against. It's the ban on hunting contests. And but now that the Senate is controlled by Democrats, downstate Democrats have introduced this in the Senate as well. If this thing were passed, it would ban any. So if people went out on the first day of deer hunting season and somebody got an award for a trophy or a cash prize for getting the largest buck, they couldn't do that. That would become illegal in New York State. Could even seep into fishing as well. Are you familiar with that bill that was proposed back when you were in the Assembly? And do you think there's a chance that now that the Senate is controlled by the Democrats, do you think there's a chance this could pass?
Well, I'm somewhat familiar with the bill. It sounds ridiculous to me, to be honest. This is the problem when you have these bills that come out of downstate. That really, you have folks down there, with all due respect, that have no idea what it's like living in upstate New York, don't respect hunting, don't respect people who own firearms for recreational purposes, and you end up getting legislation proposed like this, which is quite crazy. So, look, this is what really causes a lot of hard feelings, in my opinion, in the state. There are people, and I have many friends and family members who own firearms and enjoy hunting or target practice, whatever they may do, and they follow the law, and then New York comes about and passes a law which basically turns them into a criminal overnight. and that's what causes a lot of bad feelings. Do we have to have reasonable gun laws to try and keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people? Absolutely. But, taking firearms away from people who are following the law, I don't think is the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Let's focus on the criminals. Let's increase the sentences for gun crimes so people will think twice about committing a gun crime. Those are the kinds of laws we should be focusing on. If you're going to commit a gun crime, you're going to go to jail, plain and simple. And that's what we should be doing, is making it harder and trying to deter people from committing gun crimes, not going after law-abiding gun owners who just want to, follow the law and use their firearm in a recreational way.
Andrew, listener question, what do you have?
Yes, I don't know that I don't remember if Congress introduced a bill similar to the one that was passed here in New York, but about the abortion law. What was your vote on that in Congress? Was there a similar law that was passed to the one here in New York, or introduced rather, to the one here in New York?
No, I'm not familiar with a law in Congress that's similar to the Reproductive Health Care Act. I mean, my position on this is very clear. What I've said always is this is a very personal decision. Abortion is for people, and I understand people have very strong beliefs on either side, and I respect everyone's beliefs on this topic. But my teaching, going to Catholic school and being a Catholic myself, I was always taught one of the first rules is you are not to judge other people no matter what the circumstance is. That's not our role as Catholics, is to judge other people. So when it comes to abortion, I'm not for, as has been said out there, misinformation that I'm for late-term abortions. That's not true. What I've said is that in the later terms, and that's only about 1% of the abortions that happen in the country, I am only supportive if it's for the life or the health of the mother. Otherwise, I'm not supportive of it in that phase.
Fair enough. And Anthony Brindisi, you have an opponent already. And by the way, your opponent, I think, is and George Phillips is a pretty religious guy. And
yes,
I believe he's very religious. So it'll be interesting to see what comes as time goes on, and also whether or not Claudia Tenney steps into the race, because we're hearing already that is going to happen. Again, this might be record time. You've been in for about 6 weeks. You already have an opponent for next year. Crazy.
I'm sure more will be coming, too.
More will be coming. All right, Congressman Brindisi, thanks for taking the time. We appreciate it.
All right, Bill. Thank you, as always.
Have a great day. By the way, I should have mentioned, I saw him in Albany over the weekend. My daughter had a big dance competition. And there was Anthony looking just like I was looking, like a deer in headlights, because you don't understand like if it was a Little League game, I'd be knowing exactly what's going on.
You just started a conspiracy.
But you don't understand the dancing and how they score it, and I feel like such an idiot with this. And I'll say to my daughter, wow, that was really, really good. Oh, my God, you've got to be kidding me. It was horrible. What are you talking about? I was awful.
Oh,
I was terrible. No, I said I thought it was. When you were in beat there like that? And, no, I wasn't. I was out of beat. You didn't see it? Oh, my God. Were you even watching?
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, for 18 hours.
All weekend long. Got a break.